Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in 3, 2, 1.
On the troll.
Hello and welcome. Welcome. We are here. It is that time. And sila sesifikile. Yeah,
Sifigile.
yeah, it is happening in that court. Things are happening. And I see some of you are saying, hey, this man, most of the time when these things are happening, it's up to something.
Yeah,
you're missing the
I'm
bus.
also part of those people. I'm like, Aibo, Ibangati, the cooking of the boiki course allegedly needs more time. Yeah, the alleged cooking.
You're missing the bus. So let us dissect. I'm not going to waste time. Let us go in.
Yeah.
Greetings to everyone.
Hi, guys.
We greet you here at Mzansi Reality, and we appreciate you. Certainly appreciate that you are here. You waited for us.
Hey,
And
it was a lot
we are
to
here.
get through, guys. My apologies. It was too much. I just didn't understand where the state was going. But I know I'm not alone. And Mr. Anonymous promises that he will make things clear for us. Even I don't know. We will hear what their goal was. So, accused number 1, Muzi Spear, arrived slightly late in the morning. Apparently, he was being processed downstairs at the cells at the High Court entrance when the court was waiting. So, Warrant Officer Lawrence Ndlovu returned to the stand as well to give testimony on that O-shaped beard photographic evidence. Well, yesterday his focus was mainly on accused number 2's facial features. We're talking about the beard, the shape of it. Is it a C shape? Is it an O shape? Is it whatever shape? Is it a goatee? Dons. Sibanda then continued displaying more pictures of accused number 2, Bongani Ntanzi, and Ndlovu described that it is a picture of a person presumed to be Bongani Ntanzi by the reporters who were reporting from the court, because as it came to Dr. Sibanda's cross-examination, we didn't know who was who. We were not told. It's just descriptions of what was happening in the picture. So we had to speculate on what was going on. And as if they were laying in bed wearing what looked like a white vest. This is one of the pictures, or the first pictures in the morning that was displayed. Now, he said that in his face he is light and visible, and he had a mustache at the top. Is it a mustache at the top and a beard at the bottom? So the beard on the sides was not visible. Ndlovu then told the court that the hat he sees is that the picture had been deleted, right? And it's not visible. So the day on which it was taken, it's not visible, the date on which the picture was taken. And I'm thinking to myself, how convenient, right? You know, Sibanda then asked him to double check the photo, and he said that the photo had been deleted, and there was a bit of a confusion that was happening there, right there. I don't know how many of you guys noticed it. I couldn't follow what was going on, but what I picked up, they said that there was a picture above the one that he was talking about. Ndlovu said that it was the one that was above, and the one he was talking about was not visible, because now I think the expectation for Sibanda was that Ndlovu would be looking at the details there at the bottom about the picture, the information concerning the picture, the metadata as he referred to it. And he said that even there it is indicated that it had been deleted. So the date of the picture was 2019-09-08. The time is 14:46:43. Equipment manufacturer, it says Samsung J5. At this point, Mnisi got up and said that they were not moving in the same direction. It seemed like he was also lost as I was, because he was asking that they don't have the picture that is above that Sibanda and Warrant Officer Ndlovu were talking about, right? And he was asking, where is that picture? Because they didn't have it. And this picture, apparently, there's a reddish color on it, and it was being displayed in the court. And it's not there in the compilation of the photos that they were given. So Sibanda said that it was not a photo, that was not disclosed to the defense. What happened is that the information on the PDF on pages, so the metadata had points just below that photo. He said that the witness told him to go a little bit down so that he can get the information. So he was referring to how he was directing the witness to go look for the metadata of the picture that was above, that was below, and then now it happened that the picture above showed. So the photo that Advocate Mnisi was referring to is not part of the photos that he was using. He was demonstrating to Advocate Mnisi where the photo started, and that information was below that photo. So now, moving on to the next part of the evidence, Banda now asked Ndlovu that since the photo was deleted, was he able to extract the photo on the XRY program? And Ndlovu said yes. So Ndlovu said that the XRY program has two functions. It had what was called a logical and a physical, and he said that the logical gives you what is in the phone and has not been deleted, while the physical gives you what has been deleted. Sibanda proceeded to another picture, and Ndlovu described it as a picture of a male. He said that it's not visible in the face. He had a white hat on his head, wearing a grey t-shirt. Now the reporters described it as a golf t-shirt, and they said that the black pants and shoes that appear red or brown, and short-sleeved t-shirt with a watch on his left hand. The watch, according to Warrant Officer Ndlovu, was black and appeared to be white on the inside. By the way, I at this point did not know what was the purpose of describing what he was wearing at that point. I mean, I was just literally participating for the sake of participating, but I couldn't help but feel at the back of my mind that this is kind of a waste of time for me. I don't understand what is the purpose and where we are going, because we don't have a choice, so we must just sit there and watch, right? So the court had decided that that evidence was relevant, so there's nothing we can do about it but just see and try to figure out what was happening, what's going on. So Sibanda asked him to describe the metadata, and Ndlovu said that it demonstrated that it also got deleted. He also said that another picture underneath this one he just described appeared, and it almost looked like the one he just described that was above the one that he's talking about. So Sibanda told him to ignore it and focus on the one that was displayed. Ndlovu repeated the clothes description that he had described prior and said that on this one you can clearly see that the shoes are red. The judge said that he was particular about definitions. He asked Ndlovu that when he says it got deleted, he understood him to say that it's not on that page. If he says it's deleted but he can still see the duplicate or a copy, he can explain what he meant by that. Ndlovu said that when you take a photo using the phone, especially if there's a memory card inside the phone, you are able to delete the picture if you no longer need it in the phone. But the one in the memory card, you don't delete it. It remains there. Question mark, what? That description, Mr. Anonymous, did you get it?
No.
I understand.
I do get what he's trying to say, but it's.
I don't understand.
I think what he wanted to say, there is a cache, a memory cache, that not the memory card. Because if you delete something, you don't want it in your phone. Why would you go and save on a memory card? It goes to delete dustbin.
That doesn't make sense. I'm still perplexed.
It goes to delete dustbin. It doesn't, and then you empty that thing. It's gone forever.
Yes. Right,
so
on a normal phone.
There is no way you delete something and then it goes to a memory card.
You have to move it to a memory card. You need to move it to a memory card or copy it to a memory card.
So again, it's
manually.
I think it's a failed process again. And
You
for
think?
me, it's a failed one. I mean, there is no other way of explaining it.
These people have me questioning my sanity. Every day I'm fighting for my sanity. What is going on? Why? What is going on? Well, he said that it is the reason why that when you do an extraction using the physical, that is the XRY extraction that he was referring to. He says it explains at the bottom that it's deleted, but actually in the memory card it's still there. It's not make sure. It's not make sure.
If you're gonna do things like this, get someone more technical, like someone who kind of knows his way about and his way around. I was today. So there's a database that we created for Postgres, for Postgres. Those who understand a bit of SQL. So we ran a table. So, and then we created a view. That view, it sort of runs 3 scripts at once. It's like some sort of a mini stored procedure, those who would understand. So what happens is, if you run it once, because it's a heavy thing, it's very heavy, it takes long.
Yes.
For the first time if you run it. With the indexing and everything done. But as you keep on running it, it sits on cache. So you run it for the first time, maybe for the second time, for the third time. Now it becomes faster because as you keep on running it, it saves the memory of what you ran. Then eventually it gives you the result that is more faster because you keep on running it.
Okay.
So as it saves, it comes back and adds to that. It adds to that. Then eventually it gives you a full view. It's something that we were talking about because we wanted to use it for certain report. But I'm just, if you are going to do things like this, you are in a process of trying to prove your case, I guess. Get someone who's much more understanding of that thing, Don't get half. Because I can tell you, this man, Ramasila, knows more than this man. From the cross-examination, you can tell that Ramasila knows more than this man in terms of these things. It just... I'm confused. I'm very confused. I'm trying to not, but
yeah, but it felt like a tortoise moving. It was a drag. That's what I'm trying to say.
So you want us to sit and listen to that. And the funny thing is that we might not know some of these things.
Yeah.
But we have an idea when you speak. We can follow. I can follow, for example, when you talk about things like that, because I am around the systems most of the time. I am around the systems when they're not in sync, when you cannot get things like in a live environment. We talk this language. It might differ that much, but we sort of understand what we are talking about. Yeah. So, if you're going to try something like that, please get someone who's more technical.
What was the point of making Ndlovu talk about the contents of the picture? What did the accused were wearing? What the clothing? I'm still baffled at that.
I will tell you. Let's continue.
Okay, what was the point? Sibanda referred him to another picture of a person wearing a white cap and a striped t-shirt with a color that looked like it was black at the top with lines that looked gray and mixed up. The golf t-shirt, he raised its collar. It was black on the inside and white on the outside, and a hat as well. In terms of physical appearance, he said that the person is clearly visible. They have a mustache, and there is a little beard on the side, and he has a beard.
Didn't that sound like Dan's being explained correctly?
It did.
Yeah.
But then here's the tricky part. On other pictures, they're saying this person's beard has a beard on the side. And then on other pictures, there's no beard on the side. It's just a mustache and a beard. On other pictures, it's a beard with the beard on the side. And then on other pictures, it's a beard with just a thing at the bottom and a mustache. Sometimes it's a C, like there's no sun, like it was haphazard, like it was.
That isn't Dan's beard. It's like that, in my opinion.
And then they said metadata for this one now. He said it was also deleted and there's no other information that he could see. Sibanda directed him to another picture where he said that he saw a person who was lying down like they were in a bed. He said that it seemed like there was a pillow underneath their head. He's wearing a bluish t-shirt and it's dark. There is a collar that appears to be bluish. The face is visible and the mustache and the beard on the side as well, below on the chin. And he said that that's what he would see. Baloyi, then I saw him like kind of whispering to Sibanda. Then Sibanda asked the witness after that whole whispering. He said that yesterday you used a certain word to describe the beard. You were calling it a C shape or an O shape. What is your comment on that? Because we are not recording you when you are pointing with your finger and we want to capture your voice. Well, Ndlovu said that in the picture it appears that the person had an O-shaped beard. And Sibanda had said he already placed the metadata on record, but then Advocate Baloyi whispered something to him. Then he said that the witness should place the metadata on record. And Ndlovu said that it indicates that the picture was also deleted, and he said that it does not show the date when it was taken. So Ndlovu now on the next picture, he said that he saw a person wearing a cap. It looked like it wanted to be pink in color, wearing a red shirt with white dots, a short sleeve shirt. The person is visible and clear, and they have a mustache and a beard that goes down as well as a beard on his chin. It looked like an O shape that he referred to. And then there's metadata, and this picture was deleted on the metadata. Another picture now of a topless man was beamed in court, and Ndlovu said that he is topless and has a mustache. He had a beard with no sides, and then the beard was on his chin. So no sides, chin. Metadata also indicated that the photo was also deleted. It also does not show when it was taken. So there was also a picture of someone wearing a white hat and a red t-shirt that has a collar, short-sleeved with jeans that is green with a bit of white with many colors. At this point, I did not know who this picture belonged to. And Jonas described these white many colors as dots. Then they said that they also have on a brown belt, and on the other side a red shoe appeared, standing and holding a gray car door. So this car was gray, and he's standing in the picture holding the door of this gray car.
Take us from our misery. This is accused number one.
This is accused number one.
The picture that was taken by his brother. Yeah.
So the face is visible, he said, and there's no beard that appears. They have shaven. The picture was also deleted, and Ndlovu said that he could not see when it was deleted or captured. Sibanda then took him to the record of the 7th of September 2023. Ndlovu read where Zungu testified that while they were still standing outside, Muzi took out a t-shirt that he was wearing and it was red. He held it in his hand. Sibanda then said that he wanted them to focus on the shoes only, not the pointing out itself. Then he showed a photo of the pointing out with Colonel Hadebe. Ndlovu said that he could also see on the picture that the shoes are red. You know what the weird thing is? We don't know when the images switched. You know, it's like images, picture. There's no flow for us, the audience who are watching. Maybe for the people on the court, the experience is different because they can actually see the pictures. But with us, it was like, okay, who's who now? Who's who? Because at this time, I didn't know that the one with the car, the picture of the person with the red t-shirt with the gray car is accused number 1. So I was like, what is going on? I'm not flowing. I'm not following. Then he said that he cannot tell which exact moment that shift happened, you know. And Ndlovu said although he cannot see the type of shoe that it is, he was unable to see. Sibanda told him that it was a photo from the pointing out. So then Sibanda moved on to another picture. Now, another thing about this photo from a pointing out, the way Ndlovu was speaking, I was not even sure whether Ndlovu could see it, if it was being displayed on the projector in court or Sibanda was just referring to it. That examination in chief was one of the weirdest ones that I have ever experienced for me, in my personal opinion. And I felt like, okay, you are talking and referencing a picture of a pointing out and you're saying the person is wearing red shoes. And Ndlovu testified that the person is wearing red shoes. But then I'm like, now that you are asking, that you are saying that you are unable to see, is it not being displayed on the projector in the court? What is going on? Right? So then Sibanda moved on to another picture. Ndlovu said that it had 2 people. The one on the left side was wearing a red cap, a white t-shirt, short sleeves, standing and bending towards a person who was sitting on a chair. On the left, they were holding a tin, and Ndlovu said that he didn't know of what. Wearing blue jeans with white, it was white at the knees. The shoes are not visible. The face is visible and the beard is not clear. He was unable to describe the beard. Then he went to the second person on the right hand side and he said that person was visible and they were wearing sunglasses, a white shirt, sleeved t-shirt, sitting on a red chair with some khaki color. This chair had red and khaki color. And he said that they were also wearing jeans with some white color, with what seemed like a gold watch. His face was visible and he shaved. So the metadata also indicated that the picture was deleted. It also doesn't indicate when the picture was taken. Ndlovu said that it also appeared on his data. He said the pictures were also extracted from the memory card. Now Sibanda directed Ndlovu to a picture showing 3 black guns with 3 bullets at the back. There appeared to be bullets on that picture, which were inside the case, right? And he said that he could not tell the make or number. He could not see. He said that if he were to estimate, the bullets would be somewhere around 15 to 20. And he also depicted that the picture had been deleted. Sibanda then directed Ndlovu to read the record of the 23rd of May 2024, where Ramasila asked host about the downloading of the SD card, if he was personally not aware of the data contained in the devices, and host said yes. So in my opinion, I feel like Mr. Ndlovu's reading, it was Mr. Anonymous.
What am I going to say about his reading?
Hey, Hey, for someone who works with data, I don't know. But let me leave it alone. Sibanda then asked him when he did receive the request to look into these photos. He said that he received the request yesterday when he arrived in court. He went through the photos, although the time was limited, right? So at the time, I didn't know why this needed to be placed on record, honestly, in my own opinion, and what mandate did he get from the state before he went through the photos. What was he told he would be testifying on? It was really, really vivid. I could not tell, I could not see what was going on. Even though he gave evidence on the 16th of April 2024, he only became aware of the contents of the downloads yesterday, is what he testified to in his examination in chief. Ndlovu said that when he testified, he indicated that when he gets a request to download a cell phone, there's no specific request to say, look at 1, 2, or 3. He just downloads the phone to see if what was requested is inside the phone, but he does not check what is in it. He is not analyzing, he just checks if the photos are there. Then if they are there and are complete, then he gives them to the investigating officer. So Sibanda asked him, the information depicted, you indicated that you prepared them and placed them in a desk, correct? And Ndlovu said that's correct. He confirmed that he knows how he saved them in his data. He downloaded the 2 SIM cards as well. And I felt like, okay, SIM card information now. You also made the downloads of the SIM cards. Do we need cell phone experts from the networks to come and confirm those downloads? I'm just asking. Then Sibanda asked him to look at the screen and tell the court what he saw. And Ndlovu said that he saw Foslora's case 63610 of 2014, and the date was 10/07/2021. The time was 9:01 a.m. The type, there is a folder inside. He said it's the day he did this case, and Sibanda opened that folder, and when he opened that folder, there were 3 other folders. One was MTN SIM card, the second one was written SD card, and the third one was written Vodacom SIM. Sibanda asked Ndlovu to read Khose's evidence, where he said that on the 2023-09-04, he was contacted by Colonel Stein to come and assist on the downloads. He confirmed that the handwriting on the disc was sent to Stein. It was his own handwriting. He brought a USB now and confirmed that the information is in his USB and he is currently using to testify is the same information that he gave to Stein in a disc 2 years ago in 2023. So Sibanda said that Jonas wanted to sip water and ask for a short adjournment. Well, this for me is kind of peculiar because he's saying that he did double check, but then later on we find out that he says that he was not really prepared by the state. He said that he got the information about what he was going to testify on, those 16 and 19 pictures, yesterday. And to me, doesn't look like he really did this due diligence of comparing what was on the USB with what the disk that they were referring to that Stein was using. But he was saying it's the same, and he insisted that it was the same. But when did he check? Because he's saying that the only first time he came into an encounter with the evidence of what he was due to testify on today, he came across that information just yesterday when he was called from Middelburg, allegedly. So when court resumed, I don't know if you guys noticed that the judge threw a bit of shade there, asking if the witness has taken their oath. He said that people were going to say he let the witness give evidence without them being under oath. He's still under his feelings, Chev. Just paints. I was like, oh, the shade to the public. But it's fine, we move. And Ndlovu was asked if, after burning the CD, did he back up the information he gave to Steyn later to host? And he said yes. He confirmed it to be the same information that he brought to court in the CD. Now Sibanda was leading the series of pictures of Bongani Ntanzi. Apparently, he was going through one picture written in black and white in color. He said it was written, "My status." The person was wearing a yellow t-shirt, black pants, and a cap. 2 minutes ago, it was written there, and Bongani Sandiso Ntanzi with 4 hearts and a cup. Those are emojis, I suppose. You know, I was really questioning my sanity going through this evidence, you know. And I even saw the facial expression of Advocate Nxumalo there, looking like, oh my God, he looks so bored out of his mind. I'm like, yo, what is going on? What is this? Well, he said that there's something else that was written, and it was written Meli Ntanzi with 5 hearts and fire emojis. There was an emoji with 3 hearts and a box of juice and 2 hands greeting each other. Then it pointed grateful hands and a sunflower. He said the picture was also in his set of data. A photo showing a car seat, then it had a long gun looking like an R5, as well as a small firearm, a pistol that he could not describe. And he said the date on that picture was 2021 0104. The time was 15:38:21. What is it picture trying to do? Was it trying to prove that Ntanzi is an arms dealer?
Yeah. Yes.
So Ndlovu read where it said observation of justice of peace with regard to the deponent's clothing: black tracksuit top, stripped t-shirt, DH label, blue jean, red belt, red Cavella shoes. It is in his clothing. Now, which justice of the peace is this? And who wrote this? Where was he reading from? Which document? I'm telling you guys, this was the most difficult examination in chief I've ever had to follow. It was really haphazard for me, all over the place. Which justice of the peace, Mr. Anonymous? Do you have a clue?
No.
Sibanda asked him to comment on that statement regarding the shoes. Then Ndlovu said that all he can say is that they are red, but he won't be able to tell whether it was a Cavella or what type of shoe it is. What is the state trying to prove with the shoes? Was one of the perpetrators wearing red shoes in the Spaza house? Now, my concern also is how the judge is so focused and even taking down notes and stuff. Are we the crazy ones? I'm telling you, I'm questioning my sanity. Well, also, he was talking about the burning of a CD and saying that it's not supposed to be called the burning of a CD, but rather the banishing. I don't know. That wrapped up the state's evidence. It was now time for Advocate Charles Mnisi to cross-examine. And Mnisi had initially or started off by mistakenly referring to a warrant officer Ndlovu as Brigadier Ndlovu. Sibanda corrected him to say that he was actually a warrant officer and not to be confused or confuse the record. He said that there's a Brigadier Ndlovu that was referred to by warrant officer Musia at some stage. And Mnisi asked Ndlovu what the duties were. And he said that he was a digital forensic investigator. And he said that he also does analysis. Now, Mnisi asked him, you have said you may only go to other components of your investigation if there's a specific request that accompanies the material that I had to work on. And Ndlovu said it is so. And Mnisi said, but specifically in this case, you were requested to transfer or to burn the information that you received from kernel host in a memory stick into a disk. And Ndlovu said that now and was asked to explain. He said that what he received was a cell phone from Mohani, and they requested that he does the downloads. Now, on that day, he testified he downloaded the cell phone and he processed the cell phone, had a pattern inside it, had an SD card as well as 2 SIM cards. He said he was only able to download the SD card and 2 SIM cards, and the phone he could not because it had a pattern. After he was done, he then burned that information into a CD, then sealed the CD and the phone and everything else, and he then took it to the safe and waited for the IO to collect it. Ndlovu then went back to the USB that he now had today, and he said once he's done the extraction, it doesn't end there. They backed up the data so that when the court wants, they always have it, which is why he now has the USB. He took the file from the back from his machine, and he said that the information on the CD and the USB is the same. Nothing was changed. The only thing that changed was the date in which he burnt the CD. So he said that if you check the USB, it will show yesterday's date. And Mnisi asked him that in this matter, you only got a request to transfer certain information that you received into your system, stored it as a backup so that when the court requests it, you'd be able to produce it into a memory stick as you've done now. There was no request for you to further analyze the information that you downloaded. And Ndlovu said that he'd never had such. So Mnisi said that he would not have questions for him because the matter he dealt with seems to be involving information that came from accused number 2's phone memory card. Mnisi then said certain photos of Mr. Sibia, who is accused number 1, also seem to have appeared from that which you downloaded, and Ndlovu said that he had not seen that. Mnisi said that I'm telling you. Okay, Ndlovu said if you say so, there's no problem. I personally had not seen them. Mnisi then directed him to one of the pictures and said that the person who was seated in that picture was accused number 1. And Mnisi asked him if he is the one who compiled the photo album with the 19 pictures. Ndlovu said that he never got a request to prepare or analyze. So he's not the one who prepared and analyzed those photos. Now, by this time, I was also reading that his voice or tone of voice was kind of changing. He was becoming a little bit hostile, in my opinion. Mnisi said that he was not talking about analyzing. And he said that as a policeman, you'd know how a photo album gets prepared for court, right? Not so. And Ndlovu said, like I said, it's not me. I never did anything on this photo album. Ndlovu said that he bore no knowledge of who the compiler of that photo album was. And then Mnisi asked him, you've been taken through a very patient exercise to explain what is contained in each of these pictures up until photo number 19. Is that not so? And Ndlovu said that it is so, okay? Mnisi then asked him, and that state confirmed with you and said yes to that question. That the information that you downloaded was the same as the one you burned into the CD. Now, this witness was asked to confirm whether the information that he downloaded was the same as the information that is in the CD. And he said yes. So Ndlovu said that he did not doubt that it was the same. And Mnisi then asked him, having burned the information into the CD, did you go through the contents to verify that the information that you burned into the CD was exactly the same information from the main source that you burned it from? And Ndlovu said that that was his job. He did it. And Mnisi asked him, you specifically went through each and every photo that was in the main source that was contained in the CD to confirm that this indeed was a duplicate of what is exactly contained in the main source, which is now contained in the CD. And Ndlovu said that he thinks that that's an easy task for him to do because if you look at the CD, he says he did and he looked at the USB, and you go to the backup that he has at work. It's a very easy job. He says it states the number of pages. It will point the number of pages, which means that it's one thing. And Mnisi said that he did not want to talk difficulty or simplicity on how things are done. Then he asked him, do you then mean that you opened the CD and the main source and meticulously went through both gadgets to compare each and every photo that was there? Ndlovu said that's when he checks. From there is no need to check manually. And he checks his machine if it's 1 to 5,000. Then he goes to the CD and he burned to check if it's from 1 to 5,000. If it's 5 gig on the USB and it's 5 gig on the CD, there's no need to check page after page, according to him. So Mnisi wanted to know.
So I think the question is, did you verify the information that you banned here? Because what this guy is explaining is called spot check. Simple checking if the gigs are equal, the terabytes, if they are equal, and then the number of documents or whatever, rows, stuff like that. That is called a spot check, just to satisfy yourself, it couldn't go wrong. But that does not mean that in terms of data or documents verification, it is actually the same, because an argument can be made where one picture with the same number of megabytes is added and then the other one is removed. The gigs will be the same and everything. The number will be the same, but it will be different information.
Yes.
So I think Mnisi was looking for that part where he says, did you verify the information to be the exactly same information as the one that you banned? That's the only thing. What he's talking about in terms of the spot checks, we do spot checks now in the network where we just look at the rows and the number of observations. You're like, oh, it's 20. It's 1 up to 20. I don't need to do a VLOOKUP if I'm using Excel to check if the numbers are the same. I don't need to do that. And what could go wrong? That's basically the attitude he was giving. He's saying, okay, that is a spot check.
It's a spot check.
Yeah.
Mnisi wanted to know what the metadata was, and Ndlovu could not really explain it. He implied that if it's what Mnisi wanted to refer to as metadata, then that's what it is. Ndlovu said that the other significant information contained in that metadata was where the photo was taken, by which device, as well as the live location. You can get the coordinates of where the picture was taken. Ndlovu said that the live location is when the location is on your cell phone, and when you go to Google, it gives you exactly the place the photo was taken. Mnisi asked what would have been the setup on the phone to determine if the live location was on, right? And Ndlovu said that if your page or your phone, go to the page in the front of your phone, you'll get an icon that says location, but only on a smartphone, not the one Mnisi was holding, because Mnisi was holding a what we would call kaspitori lepopotani, or a popopo, a stone. So it's not a smartphone. Mnisi then gave it to him to observe it, and he said that it's not a smartphone. And Mnisi said that it does take pictures though, and the picture data said it gives coordinates. Ndlovu said you take those coordinates to the Google map, and then you go straight to where the picture was taken. Depending on whether the live coordinates were switched on in the phone. Now this is Mnisi asking him, and Ndlovu said it is so. So Mnisi, now on the XYRY system where they can retrieve deleted photos, he asked him, in an event that the smartphone's live location has not been switched on, are you able to use this live location to determine the location where the picture might have been taken? And Ndlovu said no, if the coordinates are not there, they are unable to do that. Mnisi then went to a photo of accused number 1, and he said that he took the matter with the state, and the state told him that this exercise he won't be involved in it. It will be more about accused number 1, accused number 2, and accused number 3. Remember how I was also emphasizing how accused number 1's photos have just been snuck in, and it didn't make sense what was going on. Then they said to him that he can relax. The state told Mnisi that he could relax. This is also confirmed in the application, because in the application there's nowhere where they were referring to accused number 1's photos. And it's a fact, the application did not speak anything about, it did not state the reasons for the application, in my opinion. I felt at some point that even the judge approving, what is he approving? Because the arguments that were placed forward by the state were not quite clear. Sibanda objected and said that they did mention the 2 photos of accused number 1 will be included, and I felt like, his tone was somewhat very, very, very
condescending.
The tone, man, Sibanda, man, the horror. He sounded like he was fighting, in my opinion. And this is funny because, the application, it was not clear exactly. And accused number 1's photos were not included in that application. I don't recall. I examined it and I looked at it and I studied it. No. So they were mentioned in a passive manner, like in a passerby manner last week Friday. Like it's just additional photos of accused number 1. Even Ramasila was asking in his arguments, they don't even tell us where the source is, the source of those photos of accused number 1. Yeah, bon. So Mnisi then responded to him saying that it did not involve the witness, and Ndlovu said that it does not show when the picture was taken. It also doesn't explain where it was taken, and Ndlovu said it's because the picture was taken and it shows that the picture was there but was deleted only. Mnisi then revealed that all he had was the picture. They did not have the metadata. He asked him if he knew why they were not sent the metadata. He even held the picture he was speaking about. I saw it. I saw it slightly. I saw a red T-shirt as Mnisi was holding. Did you see it, Mr. Anonymous? I saw the from a distance though. Right? I could not quite zoom in, but I saw the picture being held there, And Ndlovu said that he also had the same photo, and Advocate Mnisi was holding it, and Ndlovu said that for them, the pictures he had also did not contain the information that the state displayed. Mnisi told him to respond, not to say to him that, as you can see, as I've said before, the only thing he could see was the photo that they were given. And Ndlovu confirmed that there are no live locations that would have demonstrated that the pictures were taken. So with regards to this as well, it seems as though the state held on to the metadata. I don't think it was shared with the state, because they are speaking that they only received like images, like pictures. But the details of the pictures, information about the pictures, the metadata of the pictures, I don't think they were disclosed. I don't know. That's the impression that I got from Advocate Mnisi. I could be wrong. Ndlovu then confirmed that there are no live locations that would have demonstrated that the pictures were taken, and Mnisi told Ndlovu to prepare the 2 snippets from the record that he read earlier in his examination in chief. So proceedings resumed after the long adjournment, with Mnisi taking up the evidence of Constable Zungu with Warrant Officer Ndlovu. He highlighted that Zungu told the court that Sibia was wearing a red T-shirt, and he was wearing the T-shirt and took it off and held it in his hand. So on the day of the murder, right, there was a story that Zungu narrated about accused number 1 wearing a red T-shirt and taking it off and then putting in his hand or something like that. I don't know if you guys remember that story. Am I remembering it correctly?
I remember.
Yes. Then Mnisi asked Ndlovu if the prosecution sketched him the background of the hat they asked him and to what the record was saying. So, literally, in my opinion, I felt like Ndlovu was implying that maybe he was ambushed. I don't know. It just gave those vibes because he couldn't really speak on the evidence of Zungu. And apparently the picture of Muzi wearing a red golfer and leaning closer towards a grey polo was beamed in court. And, these pictures though, I was asking myself, are they from 2014? Because Zungu's testimony, he's placing himself in 2014 where he saw accused number 1 with the red t-shirt in 2014 at Foslora's hostel. The Basutung hostel.
Yeah.
So is the stage also trying to prove that Muzi had a grey polo? Like it's or he had an acquaintance that had a grey polo. Yabo. Yabo. Since I speculate, we're not giving it much. So this gave Ndlovu also the background about who Zungu was in the case. I mean, he explained the whole story that Zungu testified to in court. And Mnisi confirmed that the person on the picture is indeed accused number 1 beyond reproach. He also gave the version of Sbia. He informed him that Mr. Sbia said that picture was taken in 2018. And the place where the photo was taken was in Tembega section in Tembisa. The house seen at the back in the photo is the house of his uncle, who is called Stelo Ntuli. He said that the car also belonged to his uncle in 2018 when he shot that photo. Now he said that if his memory serves him well, this photo was taken by a gentleman called Nkazimulo. They affectionately called him Nkazi. This photo had nothing to do with what Constable Zungu came and told the court. And Mnisi said that CBR might not have a full explanation as to how these photos happened to be found in the memory cards of accused number 2's phone. Nama would like to know that. I mean, how did those pictures end up in the memory card of accused number 2's phone? Google, quite clear as to how that happened. But he's saying that this is his explanation, right? And Mnisi says that he knows that accused number 2, he knows him very well. Although they were not buddies, he knows him through his younger brother. Ntanzi was a friend to Sbia's younger brother, and his brother's name is Gwabini. The name Gwabini. We are not hearing it for the first time in that court.
Now we can put everything together. Uthi uGwabini kahle kahle uve kucelemba ngezandla in a sense. Yeah. Shukuthi aliyamgidela. In my opinion.
In your opinion? Because we can recall Gwabini, where Zungu was testifying about him as being one of the people that were at the Foslora's hostel while he was there, with the accused, all 5 accused. They had gathered at Basutung hostel and Gwabini was there. Even they were talking of firearms, and he had said that he was going to throw one of the firearms at a river. It was a revolver, and he's gonna throw it at the river because he had just shot an individual by the name of Snako. Hi. Well, Mnisi said that he had taken the liberty to verify this information with Mr. Ntanzi, whether or not he knew Mr. Gwabini. And Gwabini also was mentioned when it came to the confessions, because there's a Gwabini that's mentioned with regards to the confession. Now, Constable Zungu is saying he heard this from his father. His father also made a statement before Zungu made his own statement, and he had testified that he had heard this information from somebody else who heard it from Gwabini. So it was like triple hearsay evidence, but the source is a Gwabini, right? Then Mr. Ntanzi confirmed that he knew him quite well. Accused number 2 also confirmed that he was also close to Mr. Gwabini. Gwabini would request his phone to make calls, to take photos, and to send SMSs. He does not know, but he would speculate that in Gwabini exchanging some photos with accused number 2, it could have happened that he also might have sent these photos that was taken in 2018 to accused number 2, which would then explain the reason why this phone was found in the gadgets that were found in accused number 2's possession. He is saying that it is just speculation that should not be held against him, because he could also not give an appropriate explanation as to why his photo were found with accused number 2's phone. So the photo of a gentleman wearing black spectacles, that is also accused number 1, and he said that that was not in dispute, that it is him. Mnisi also turned to the testimony about Sibia having worn a red kavela when he did a pointings out. The picture was beamed in court, and the state compared the shoes worn during the pointings out and the shoes that he wore in a picture found in Tanzi's phone. So, Mr. Anonymous, what was the point of the red shoes again? You still don't want to tell us? Of
accused number 1? No, let's see. I'm looking at the likes, they are not liking.
Guys, please press the like button. I want to know what is the point of these red shoes, please. It's bothering me. I don't want to go to sleep without knowing. Guys, take me out of my misery. Kunini ngibuza. Kutheni ngicatshule sibomvu. Zavelela ngicatshule sibomvu kutheni? Kanti why are the shoes now being made evidence? Were they there in this Spaza house in 2014? Were they there? Were they the featured undercover starrings? What is going on with these red shoes that they keep mentioning? And the witness confirmed that, the witness, my apologies, confirmed that the state did not sketch him, the background of what he was requested to read into the record. So Mnisi on the state also alleging that accused number 1 was pointing out voluntarily. The clothing and shoes are not in dispute. The witness reiterated that he does not know the make of the shoe, but he can see that they are red. Mnisi moved to a photo of a picture of a firearm that seems to have been downloaded, or a downloaded photo. Right. Ndlovu said that it's possible because it is not stated that where the picture comes from. Mnisi also killed me when he tried to pronounce a meme. Ati meme. The last time I got into trouble here with a cash guy. Otherwise, he's gonna get me, baby. Well, he was saying that him and Rob Musipili were talking, and he was telling him that these memes are downloaded, from the internet. You can get them, from various networks on the internet. And Ndlovu said that it does not mean that when you have a picture in your phone, it was captured by a phone. He said you can go to Google, the picture will be there. For now, he said he cannot comment on the photo as it was deleted. Mnisi said that what he said reminded him soon after the death of the Pope, 3 days down the line. He was speaking about that viral picture of Trump wearing Pope attire. And then it was an AI generated image. It was an AI photo, and everybody just had a good laugh regarding it, right? So he made reference to it, and he asked Ndlovu, so those things happen these days with the advent of artificial intelligence from an analyst's point of view. And Ndlovu said that he agreed. Now that wrapped up this cross-examination. Now it was Ramasipili's turn, and I must say Ramasipili was very, very, very analytical and very meticulous. He was deep. I wasn't expecting that level of deepness.
press that like button, guys, please. We beg you. And yes, the membership is still available for those who still want to join. Please join the membership if you can. Right. Let us now talk about why these pictures and why Sibanda.
Please.
Why
the red shoes.
all these things. And you guys are busy waiting
The red shoes.
for the worst to happen. Let's talk about them from the beginning.
Yeah.
First, these pictures were brought in here, in my opinion, and this is my opinion. This is my opinion.
Disclaimer.
And this is going to be in line with what these accused are saying, those two, in terms of being forced to make those confessions. So the pictures were not an omission, in my opinion.
All right.
They were never an omission. The pictures are what we call a memorandum. A memorandum that, in my opinion, was given to Zungu, in my opinion, or could have been seen by Zungu before the so-called affidavit. And then the testimony. It could have been one of those kids maybe who had to study a memorandum and go and write a test about it, you know, that type of a situation. And this is my opinion, and this is obviously alleged. I'm not saying that is the case. So these pictures were not an omission. Hence, in my opinion, again, there was no way the judge was going to deny these pictures from coming in my opinion, as far as Mngomezulu is concerned. You know, if there was anything such as what Mngomezulu was alluding to, which is whatever, I don't want to say the weight, but, and again, all is alleged. So these pictures were not an omission. They were here to actually make you believe anything that Zungu said. Number one. And this is pertaining to Muzi. I mean, this is pertaining to Ntanzi.
Oh, Ntanzi.
I'm still coming to Muzi. So you look at what we were giving, the hoodies and all those things. It had to do with that. Oh yeah, he had this hoodie. Yes, so it's red. Yeah, that's why the judge is writing.
That's why he's writing.
So we're ticking the box.
Oh.
So that's what I'm saying. In no way in hell
And the red shoes.
that even after such good heads of argument, in my opinion, that were given by the defense,
Exceptional.
there was no way, in my opinion, and allegedly, that was going to be denied, because it would have killed this. You know, what now it is trying to do. And how it was presented, it's not a mistake. And who presented it, it's not a mistake. Because we're talking about what? A junior?
Yes.
Who's prone to mistakes?
Yeah.
Even how he present the evidence. He couldn't lay the basis of why he's presenting the evidence.
No.
So those are mistakes that are expected, right, from the junior.
Yes.
And they are helping the cause of presenting this information like this. So Mnisi is coming to close the loopholes of a junior and helping the junior lay the basis.
Baggage.
No, that's my opinion.
So the defense are actually the ones who laid the basis, because I got to understand what this evidence is about through them.
Yes, through also citing what was cited on Zungu's behalf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I didn't know what was going on.
And then you see, if you put 2 spoons of sugar in a cup, it's okay. 3, it's okay. 4 and 5 and 6. Now you are a lover of sugar. Then we start suspecting you have a problem, right? Now this is where the problem starts.
Okay.
Now, the same memorandum that could have been given to Mohane, or that could have been given to Zungu, or that could have been, and then was it Mohane or Mohale who arrested accused number 1?
It's Mohula.
Mohula. And he explains the shoes, right?
Yes.
The color of the shoes,
red
right?
shoes. Yes.
And look at how these people, after this long, they still remember all these things as if there's no case that they are working on. The red shoes and all those things.
As if they haven't had any other cases in
even
between.
Zungu, after a couple of years, 2014 to current, look at how he still remembers the colors and the things through those colors that were happening, you know? And these colors are coming back now. And when did he make his statement? 2023?
Yes.
And that tells you something, right?
The colors are coming in the form of pictures in 2025.
Now, where the problem is when you now start adding the spoons, as I say, of sugar on one cup. No, this is not a jar. This is a cup.
Oh,
and then
cup.
now you are doing
It's
it.
a cup. It's for sugar.
Now you are doing it with this Mohula guy. You explain
Mohula
the
is a
car.
lady.
Is it Mohula Mohane?
Mohani.
Is it Mohula? It's a lady who arrested accused number.
Yes, who arrested accused number one is the lady.
Is the lady Mohula.
Yes.
And then the shoes, the pants, everything. And then the Justice of Peace explaining the same thing on the pictures, and you see the pictures are red.
Yeah.
So this is to say we arrested him on this, we took him on these clothes. He went there to point. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So the red shoes now and all those things is what he was arrested on.
Yes, wearing.
According to Mohula.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he was caught wearing the
And he had to change it to
the same alleged ones that Zungu saw.
no.
Is that what they're trying to say?
No.
What are they trying to say?
What they're trying to say is that as he was going to point, he was still wearing the same stuff.
Okay.
He couldn't have pointed later on and they came to court to lie. He pointed just around about that time when he was arrested.
Okay, but that's not
He couldn't
dispute.
he couldn't have changed the clothes and all those things. He was still in the same clothes. That's basically what they were highlighting.
But that's not.
So
in
it's
dispute.
him who was pointing because he was wearing the very same clothes that were explained.
But
Remember,
him
there was an
wearing
issue.
the same clothes.
There's a dispute also with the pointing. You know, that it was. So now they are saying, who else? Because we arrested him on these clothes. He was pointing on these clothes. So why are you saying he didn't point? He was forced to point.
He was forced to
And the point, and the
But
other thing
the
that
clothes don't prove.
the other thing that also these clothes are trying to prove
Okay.
is that they were not dirty. And remember, there was a submission of that
Oh
nature.
yes.
Yes. So it's not a mistake that these pictures were
But
omitted,
actually,
in my
he said
opinion.
that he changed. He had a change of outfit.
No, but
when-
the assault never stopped there. This thing was submitted, man. I mean,
yeah,
it's not.
it's not new.
There was
I
even
know.
a contestation of how the picture might look because of the camera, the quality of the camera. It might not show the dirtiness and all those things from the defense.
Yes,
If you remember from
yes,
Gomez's
yes.
point of view.
Yes.
So, yeah, those are the things. So, that's what this thing is trying to prove.
Okay.
You know? Now, where it gets even more funnier, you add another teaspoon. Remember the car, the Polo, in contestation that accused number 5 was driving? The uncle of these ones.
Grey polo.
How many times did he change the color? From silver,
Silver, grey.
silver.
Yeah, silver,
yeah.
grey.
So basically, we had all these things. We were looking at them. In a sense, we just wanted to fit them in
the
you know, fit it. And then in statistics, there's what we call overfitting the model, where your model is over predicting. In my opinion,
This is an over prediction.
yeah, in my opinion, they overfit this thing to such an extent that it was easy to actually follow where it comes from and where it is going, whether there was an omission in my own point of view and allegedly or not. And this was a mistake, an omission happened through the mistake. No, I don't think it was a mistake. We were just bringing what we couldn't bring when Zungu was still testifying, because it would look obvious that, oh, you actually saw the pictures. You actually saw 1, 2, 3. So now we're bringing those things later so that it looks like Zungu had the best memory, in my opinion. This is overfitting, because even if you have a brain of an elephant, as Baloyi would allege, you can't remember.
No.
To that point of remembering the car. And for God's sake, person keeps those clothes up until 2020.
From 2014, literally accused number 1 and number 2 had the same clothes.
But the thing is, you couldn't find them.
But they couldn't find the ones that the witnesses from the house were talking about.
So this is where you realize ukuthi kudlaliwe ngathi. Maybe. Kudlaliwe ngathi. So the grey polo had to be there.
I remember even with the statement that was released back in 2020 after the arrests were made, there was made mention of a silver polo.
And where if you find it on the pictures, why not use it? If you're lucky to find it. That's why Mnisi had to explain. By the way, accused number 5, lady. It is. Don't take those things lightly. So basically, they could have been overfitting the model, and it overpredicts, and it's so accurate. And I tell you, to someone who's lazy to think and perhaps old, it might be perfect.
Yeah.
But to me, it's too perfect.
It's overfit.
Yeah.
It's overfitting.
It is too perfect. So that's basically what I realized as I was trying to go through these things, that all the pictures that are there, they had a reason, and the reason was to actually make sure that. And then now coming to issues of pictures that were deleted and then they were restored. So upon restoring these pictures, what is funny is that they don't go to the original folder, or they don't come back with an original folder. They just come back like ingane zomuntu ezingama, when you have ingane eziningi eziphume usihambise ekhaya kubo, uzibhose zihlukane oba behlukane, mase zibuya ndawonye azazani ukuthi zibuya sihlangane kanye. So this is funny to me, that the pictures, they just come back, they leave no trace of where they were deleted from. They just come back.
Yeah.
This is very funny, and that got me thinking also about the police calls that connects these people, the police calls that connects them even when they are in jail. Guti, a SIM card can be taken from one phone to another phone. I mean, I don't think when Pinky Fillingham was testifying, he did mention Guti, this is the phone.
Yeah. Never.
It was all about the number.
Yes. The number called this number. The number send this number, please call me. That was it. The phones, no. So
we don't have to think too much, eh? There's nothing towards this. But the train has already passed. If you're thinking that there's more to come from this, what people call this gimmick, allegedly. There's nothing that is going to come. It was actually happening in front of you. You just had to open your eyes and see it happening why that is happening and why the colors of the hoodies. And it's not a mistake that the judge wanted the colors to be put on record, because he's gonna use that to nail these people.
I know, we'll be watching. The whole of South Africa will be watching, anticipating
in my
that
opinion.
Judgment. Yes.
Yeah, so we are expecting that judgment, but just for the sake of your BP, be on the safe side as usual. And trust the process of appealing, That's all you can hope for.
Yeah. Hopefully.
So, Uzungu, what I was thinking also as this thing was happening, then Mnisi has more ground to actually bring Zungu through this. That is a downside of this. Now he can bring Zungu
add that
on
to
the
your
basis
argument.
of what has been happening in that court. Now you have more.
He needs to be recalled.
Yeah, because now you need clarity. The information that could have been furnished earlier was not finished earlier.
Yes.
Because he needs to come now and say, indeed, this is a T-shirt that I was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this the T-shirt?
Yeah, Zungu now needs to come back, which we probably would expect him to do so and say, yeah, it was. He must come back now. There's more reason. And, the wild card is Gwabin. I think when it started, the lack of understanding of who Gwabin is might have killed the state's case. Because now, and I mean, the defense has been playing along up to a point where now they're telling there's a relationship between Gwabini and the Gwabini that we are using is a relationship. So now
the accused.
Now ziyakhala ke manje. Yabo? Because rest assured, he might be running if he's running for her, for God's sake, but the day has to come for his brother's rescue. I don't think he'll run. Allegedly. I don't think he'll run. I don't think he's gonna run. He's gonna come face to face with the devil himself.
And you know what I'm getting a sense of now that I look back? I feel like he was the target.
That's how it feels. That is how it is feeling. But we are told that he was afraid of his brother.
He's afraid of his brother and his best friend.
And his best friend, Wutibazom. So now that the cat is out on the loose.
So the state is trying to imply that the accused number 1 and 2 are conspiring to. They've put Gwabini in a position where he does not feel safe.
The gun smuggler and substance dealer. Yeah. So this is now a problem. It's a finder, and it's gonna take a lot to clean this one. But let's wait and see. Nothing is impossible in that court.
Let us not count our chickens
before the hedge, and all is alleged.
Everything is alleged.
So let's continue.
But I see your point. So with Ramasila's evidence, guys, because I feel like it was too long and too technical, I'm just gonna study it in the middle where it started to get warm. Ramasila went to the photo of accused number 1 in a red t-shirt holding the door of a grey vehicle, seated on a chair, and one with a firearm. The other photo was the one that had a firearm. He said that they could not tell which device the photo was taken from, and he even referred to a term called cuffed raw or something like that. Do you know it, Mr. Anonymous?
Cuffed raw? No.
Ndlovu said that it means that if a photo was deleted, it's a print that it was once there. The term is recovered captured. Ramasipili said that the pictures were just presented in court and they were bamboozled. I was like, wow, Mr. Ramasipili, wow, where have you been? Welcome to the courtroom. They have been bamboozled. Okay. Ramasipili then said, how does Ndlovu determine the day and time of any device, be it in a cell phone or as in an SD card or SIM card using the it's the XRY, but he decided to opt to use the term X-ray software instead. So Ndlovu said that, as he was mentioning, it's just there, but it doesn't give them more information. Then Ramasipili finally asked about how he went about the process to recover the deleted photos, because this is what I was curious about. I'm like, what is the process that you used, Vele Warren Officer Ndlovu? Because
I don't know that X-ray, but I think if it was really something to look at, I think it would be a system a software that you choose the time where you want to recover the pictures, like from this point to this point, and then you recover them from that point to that point. But the funny thing is how the information is lost. Is how the information is lost, because even if you restore the picture from being deleted, it does keep such. It tells you where it comes from.
But in this instance, he does not.
That's a flaw of the system, I guess. If it's
now, I feel like I also have to go, but then Hose and Stain and check if they ever testified on images or anything that was ever deleted using this XRY system, because now I'm like, I feel bamboozled too, Mr. Ramasipili. Besides knowing the physical extraction, what does it entail? And Ndlovu said that they used a software. Once you use the software, it goes and extracts what was deleted. There's nowhere where he will physically himself do it without the software.
And think about the system was created so that it just restores. It does not give the value and the credibility of the picture. It just restores.
Even in a phone, when a picture is deleted and it gets restored, something is
information. It's not make sure, but it's fine.
It does not come back as a vacuum.
Things of SAPS, they are amazing. It's like the AVL, and really.
I have seen.
You cannot rely on them unless you are a state. They lose connection when you need them.
The evidence of the what do I call it? The evidence of AVL, to me, in my opinion, was more substantial, more useful than this circumstantial evidence that now we are being subjected to, in my opinion. But I saw the judge put up more of a fight for this evidence to be presented than the AVL. With the AVL, I just feel like it was just a show. Yeah, everything, AVL. But now when it came time to put the pressure, he just decided, I did my best. I did everything. Was it really everything? Was it really everything? That's the question. Then Ramasipili asked him, can you differentiate using XRY photos that are taken by the device and photos that are downloaded? And Ndlovu said, yes, you are able to see. Ramasipili asked him to demonstrate using the photos that were used as exhibits. There was a term called kev draw there, and he said it's equivalent to a deleted photo. the judge was getting impatient and asked
Now we are told about metadata. This is now where I ask myself, what does the data know metadata now? Hey, metadata does not change. Does it change? The t-shirt is red. It is red, man.
Ay, nami bentukile.
Now, if I was Ramasila, I was gonna say, yeah, even after years, it's still red. It is still red. Even after years, we're talking about 4 to 5 years, it's still red, and it still fits like a glove.
Well, Ndlovu said that from what he knew, the photo will never change. What can change is the time that the picture is accessed by different people as well as the time.
See how it was deflected from the main point.
Yeah.
The answering of Ndlovu is now on the basis of metadata, of what it contains.
Yeah.
And Ramasila was never asking about that. He was just merely asking about the timestamps and everything else other than what the picture contains. And because the judge is fighting about what does not change and what changes, now the answer is based on what changed. Is the picture gray now, blue now, stuff like that? And the answer is like that. And God, Keninda has been using that judge ascending to the arena and then next
for
thing
those
the answer
who wonder,
is out.
why is the case taking so long?
So this is where you see what icon kuboshiwe madoda Satan ubopile.
Ramasila said that his question was pertaining
Allegedly.
to the data, whether it's JPEG and whether it was shared from WhatsApp or Facebook. And Ndlovu said that he had explained that the photo does state it's from Facebook and indicates shared. If it's taken by camera, it will indicate DCIM, JPEG, and all of that stuff. So Ramasila wanted him to give examples, remember. But then he decided not to labor on that because of the judge's interference and impatience. He just decided to let it go. Ramasila then went to the transcripts about the grey hoodies given by Mohola in court. She said accused number 2 requested to take a grey hoodie and was wearing a red hoodie when they were arresting him. Ramasila said you were made to read that on record without the context being put to you. And Ndlovu said yes. Ramasila said, and I'm not going to give you the context. It has nothing to do with your evidence because it was requested that you put on record what he was saying in the picture by the state. Then Ramasila requested him to do the same with a picture that he now was demonstrating to the court. And he said that there was an important aspect that he wanted to pass by Ndlovu. He said that he saw a person wearing a jacket or tracksuit with a hoodie. It's gray at the top, and that is now Ndlovu describing it. He said it's gray at the top and blackish on the inside, and on the shoulders to the chest it was gray, and it had text written in white and black that he was unable to read what it said and what was written on there. And he said that the color, the colors of the letters on that writings were black and white at the bottom. So he said that it was also written at the bottom, and he was saying that he was wearing a long sleeve jacket. He was wearing a watch. It's black with some red. It appears that the person is inside the house. Ramasila asked if from what he read concerning Mohola, did she describe all these colors that he is seeing? Ndlovu said that it was not the same. Ramasila then asked him, the reason I'm making you go through this, I'm not faulting you. When context is not provided, the leader of that evidence wants this court to draw an inference by providing this photo to say that this is the hooded jacket that Ntanzi asked us to take, when that is not the case. He asked Ntanzi to stand up, and he pointed at him and directed Ndlovu towards that direction and said he's also wearing a grey hoodie jacket to court today. The context should have been explained to you so that you know what you're talking about. But because it's not important to you, you analyze. You're not privy to the investigation. And then Sibanda objected, saying that it was a matter of argument. Ramasila said it's laughable because he Sibanda is the one who invited comment on these photos. He's the one who started. So he said to entertain the laughable objection and give it glory with a response. It takes a lot to annoy Ramasila, I must admit, but he was annoyed.
He was.
Ramasila said that he was not done with this, okay? He said that the inference was for the state to say Mr. Ntanzi took the grey sweater, in this picture, so he was in a grey sweater. And the judge asked Sibanda if that was what they were trying to show. Sibanda said that it was not the only inference that they were trying to make. And then Ramasila said, fine, they will argue this later. And he said Sibanda must not show pictures and then stand up and cry. Okay. And then at that point is when I saw the judge speechless, right? And there was an adjournment. I was expecting him to come, guns blazing. I was ready. And I think Ramasila was ready too.
They are annoyed. What is happening in that court, in my opinion, it is annoying. They are annoyed. At some point, you've got to put a stop on this bleeding. So I think they are annoyed.
So for people who have been wondering all these years, why is it taking so long? I think yesterday should have given you a clear picture. It should have given you part of the reason why it's taking so long.
Yes.
To come, for the state to close their case. The state has opened their case for, I would say, 4 years now, counting prior to de novo. It's been a journey. It's been 5 years now.
You're playing a roller coaster. You are being made to chase your tail.
And every day, things are being taken out of the hat that... Are they material? I remember that question. Is it material or immaterial?
We have gone past that thing. Let us echo Mtozi Langa's words. Let's show some love, guys. Like the video if you really like it. Even if you don't, why not? I mean, it doesn't cost you anything and it's not that much of labor. So please like the video. And then, Emily, anything?
Nothing.
I'm
done.
This is where I go through the chats. Because today I feel like it. Chukuana, thank you very much for being with us. Boitumelo MC Master, thank you. Dibu, our member, thank you. Mlambo Design, thank you. Laura, our member, thank you. ST, our moderator, thank you. Nziki, Cassandra, Kamguni, our member, thank you. Pedro, thank you. Our member, Siba, thank you. Behad, Katid, thank you. Sipo Nengu, thank you. Vusutando Makobane, thank you. Raul Mtrobel, thank you. We appreciate you guys. Linde Ni Hadebe, thank you. Mamfunega, thank you. Ishmael Justice, thank you. Siabonga Shao, our member, thank you. Join the membership, guys. Msizi Mashishiwane, thank you. We have a caller. I didn't anticipate a caller today. Let's see though. Mzansi, hello. Mzansi, hello. Oh, injalo ke lento. Yes, siyaphila njani wena?
I'm all right, just speaking to Shingai. How are you, Mr. Anointed?
Hi.
Oh, good.
Hi, Shingai.
I'm good. Thanks for taking my call. I want to go back to our discussion yesterday where I said, Mr. Ramasila must just ask him. I hate this hoodie. It's just that I bought it in 2018. And the story ends there. And that's what exactly Ramasila did today. Because we are talking about a hoodie that is in 2020, 2018, but we are talking about the events of 2014, which is nothing, no value. Okay?
Yes.
That was one of my points. And then my question, who is this Gwabini guy that they are talking about? There's the brother to Leah. Is it the same Fiso Is it the same Fiso Zungu? Who's this Gwabini?
They said they have an affidavit of Gwabin, right?
Who? The state, yes. But the state said they have, yes.
Yeah, that's the main Gwabin.
I think because I remember the main name, the brigadier always called him Fiso. So yeah, because I tend to run away from Gwabini because it's a clan name, so I want to put a name to it.
Yes,
so I'm saying, I wish Gwabini can come to court and crush this case to the ground. Because if Gwabini comes to court, the defense must just ask him, did you hold this Umqindi on the 26th of October? And if Gwabini says no, then it's done. Because he's the one who was hosting all this one.
Yeah.
And then the other point I wanted to point, Mr. Anand.
Yes.
I was listening to this Neapolitan guy. He runs Court TV in the US, right? So I do follow current Regis case. So the guy was a prosecutor and then he became a TV host. So he explained that if you're a prosecutor, your job is to seek justice. You understand? He said it's never about conviction, whether you've got 100% or 90%. No, he said you must seek justice. So I'm just asking myself in our current case, is Baloyi seeking justice for Senzo and his family or not? And I can clearly see he is not, because he doesn't bring facts. The pictures they are talking about, his family, there's a point that you forgot to mention. My son asked me what is the business of the day, because that's how I remember that infant. At the end, when doctor was done with his infant, he says, I almost forgot the business of the day to hand the memory stick as evidence. And then I'm thinking, so what business of the day was to hand this memory stick with the evidence? But with all these pictures that are not adding anything to the court case, we just go back and you can see this Ndlovu guy was just reaffirming their points of what is in Zungu statement, the color of the hoodie, and it was correct for Ramasila to come and say the inference is being drawn that is the same hoodie that he's wearing, because that was exactly what they were doing. Because in the end, I could not understand even the objection by Sibanda, because that was what he was doing. And he has done that for 2 days. And after 2 days, we're not moved anyway. There's no. If you tell me, I saw a headline in one of those news channels. We know, I don't want to name it, but it was saying it was saying damning photos. It was saying damning photos of Untans. And then I said, what damning photos is this one talking about? Because those photos, they don't do anything to the case. You're just wasting time and go back again. I just wish we can move forward and have the defense present their case now so that we can move forward.
Yes.
Take care.
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you.
So.
Right. See, thank you for the call. Right. Let us continue. Just Siponengu, I was with. I was. Yeah, I think I was here. With Tumelo Shaw, I've mentioned you. Ntsiki, I've mentioned you. Dokas Shabalala, our member, thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Dokas.
Hiju, I think, all the way from Congo. Yeah.
How? The DRC. Thank you so much.
That's a DRC flag. I hope I'm not wrong.
For sure?
Yeah. It's.
Are you sure?
It looks like that. It looks like that. I don't know. We only.
I can see, guys.
Jugo, and I think I've mentioned you too. Sanjiwa Sewanda, I've mentioned. If I'm wrong, I'll be corrected. Smart info. Thank you for joining us. Nomakule Tyler, thank you for joining us. Siyabonga nje ginonke. Chef Mkondo, thank you for joining us. Fiso Sindani, our member, thank you for joining us. Dipuo, thank you for joining us. And Laura, thank you for the gift. God bless you. Our member again. Someone's still asking about Nat. Nat is going to be back. Don't worry, guys. Everything is still alive, still here.
Yeah.
Cynthia.
The changing of times. Making
65.
It complicated.
Thank you. Dineo N. Thank you. We appreciate you. Pedro, I've mentioned you. Bongandube. Siyabonga. I guess Bonne our member. Thank you. Hey, my daughter. Tuso William Lehuzo, sorry. Thank you. Siba, thank you. Miki, Palmal, thank you. Pamela, thank you. Princess, Princess. Thank you, Sabong. Mtembo Rosemary, thank you, our member, Sabong, for being here. In the morning gang, Sabong, our faith cool. Morning gang pushing the likes, Sabong. Cindy Mashalela, Sabong. Oh, Sabong, Cindy Mashalela. Cool. Did I read it right? Yeah, it's Cindy. Smangele Mnisi, siyabonga. Tsidi Anna Mohapi, our member. Thank you.
Thank you, Tsidi.
Noma phakathi, siyabonga. Kakhulu. Sibonge nje. You see, some of you have been members here for like 2 years now.
Thank you, guys. Highly appreciate you. Love you lots.
Farai, thank you. Ndumo Ncube, thank you. Siyabonga. Awu sihlanjalo uholo kubafethu sizama ukunibamba nonke kodwa kubenzima sometimes Tsidiso mthethwa siyabonga awu Tsidiso you are back or you haven't been commenting Mpumelelo waluwalu Mpumelelo waluwalu siyabonga sihlanjalo nje sizama ukunibamba if we Ambrose Mbata, thank you. Didi Talks, Didi Talks,
hi,
ever
Didi
present.
Talks.
Nomzamo Ngumalo, thank you.
Hi Nomzamo.
Keta Mabaso, thank you. Siyabonga Keta. Hey, my daughter. Hey, Kufamel, Pumelelo Dlamini, I think I've mentioned you. Outlast Tours, thank you. Ndumo, I've mentioned you. Elvis, Tatezake Mwangu, Siyabonga. Linda Mkwebane, thank you. Siyabonga. Lula Masirai, our member, thank you. Mthozi Langa, our moderator, thank you ever so much for being ever present. Please press the like button until we reach that 300 and be above, because it's only 400 here, guys. Oh, someone is calling Mzansi. Hello. Yeah, I see. And it's a good thing. Someone I didn't answer yesterday, I think. Mzansi, hello.
That's really do you.
Oh, I did. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Now you're speaking to Bongs from Cape Town, man.
Oh, Bongs. What's good?
Yeah, man. Yeah, good, man. I won't dwell too much about today's proceeding, man. I want to go to the depths of this case, man. You see, the state they are leading their last witness. They're about to close their case. But there is nothing that has been proven otherwise beyond reasonable doubt. And you see, Rata is struggling with this case. Why he's struggling? Rata, at the same time, as much as he's this Mr. 50 years experience, but he behaved like inexperienced judge. You see why I'm saying that? He put himself in an awkward position because he quickly took a side. Yeah. Now he's seized with a situation where these accused, they have to prove they're innocent instead of the state proving their case against these accused. That's where Rata found himself. That's why sometimes you'll see him frustrated and all that. He's trying because he's struggling. That's the position. He was not supposed to take a position, by the way. But his behavior, he doesn't have to spell it out. We're not kids, man. We can observe, we can read the room, we can see. And the other thing, there is a word, I don't like to mention names. You guys, you know me. One of the of these accused is so confident that the Kwadeni, the reason they are not calling Kwadeni, they are lying. She posted something by that day when Pininda said Kwadeni is scared because of assassinations and all that thing. And then the lady that I'm talking about is the sister of one of those accused. She posted something on Facebook. She said, These people are continuing with their lives. Kwabini is so furious because he doesn't know all these things, and Kwabini is willing to go there and bail out his friends because he said this thing is all of the three of those guys, as they said during that cell phone evidence, that they knew Kwabini is there. The sister said the same thing. Kwabini is still saying the same thing. These are my guys. How do you mean? They were with me and they went and killed Senzo. They say they know once they bring Kwabini will cash their case because Kwabini, the Roma is the word is akangeni yonke land. Ukuthi yonke lento ifacilitate umalume wakhe lo iphoyisa maybe ke bamthembisa position or promotion because the word is clear there. You can see all these cops that are involved in this case. Subsequently, they got promoted. It's another thing that we can't just ignore and take it lightly. We can't. And you see those pictures, almost this guy is talking about pictures when talking about proper pictures oftentimes he can say this picture was taken from J6 and all that. Now there are pictures of firearms. He can't tell the source of this picture, where it was taken, whether it was shared or not, but the real pictures is Gandan Zangas. He can confidently say this picture was taken using the camera Samsung J6, but this one can't explain.
Yeah,
those things were planted, as you said, Mr. Anonymous. You can take out SIM card and put it on another phone and send call back and then put back my SIM card. Because when Telegram it was all about messages and calls. Even this, what do you call this number that identifies phone? I doubt she put on record when she was reading those callbacks and all that thing.
Yeah.
You see the critical information, they are not putting it clear. But those ones, that Dance is not denying. They can confidently say, yeah, Samsung J6, and Dance is saying, yeah, this is my phone. I know those pictures. But those dodgy ones, the firearm and all that, they can't tell the source of the picture.
Yeah.
And then we must be suspicious. And also the media is playing a crucial part in this case. Their style of reporting is not a coincidence. Is not. As I said before, I think I said I don't believe in coincidence. Their style of reporting is not a coincidence. Someone somewhere, these things are systematic. They are being instructed how to report about this case, which narrative they must push. We can't rely on mainstream media. That's why we have you guys. That's why we love you more than mainstream media. We know what we've been through because of mainstream media as a country. So the other thing that I have a problem with is now the state, what the state has been proven actual, what they have proved actual.
So
because now they are
nothing.
about to close their case, nothing. And then how do you convict? So I say, if Rata convict those guys, Rata must be taken on review while these guys are going on appeal. That's it. That's the only thing that will send. Because this case can't be used as a case law. Because in the near future, some lawyers will argue use this case while we're seeing the mess. This case can't be referred to as one of the case laws and anything, man. This case must be squashed. Because it will create a huge dent on our justice system. This case mustn't stand at all, even on record. Because in the near future, some people will be lawyers, they can quote, in the next 5 years or 10 years, someone will quote Judge Rata. Senzo Meyiwa case. That's the problem. This case is dangerous for our justice. You mustn't take this thing lightly. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for calling in and sharing your opinions.
Thank you.
Yay.
Thanks.
On the same breath, we say thank you to Dokas Shabalala. God bless you.
Thank you, Dokas.
CN Poga, thank you. Everboth, thank you. Ngomane, I've mentioned you. Stelo Njalinjali, thank you. Alpheus Nlela, thank you. Tembelan Kanye, night. Okay. Yeah, ngicabanga ukuthi this is where we end. Thank you very much, guys. until today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
So bye.